Today's Thursday, almost done with the work week for most people, especially administration workers. Today is a beautiful day. I've had a little bit of liquid sunshine falling on the car, and I had a cover on it, and it's so nice. My daughter-in-law gave me this cover she had bought for her car. Said, here, you use it. I've used it a couple of times, and this morning when I got up, I was like, man, I can't put the cover in my car because now it's got sprinkles on it. So, excuse me, sprinkles of liquid sunshine. So I am, driving myself to work this morning. Oh, somebody's going around. Nope, just a big long line. Okay, distractions. So today is going to be a very busy day. I am officially 3 days behind on my tickets at work. So I'll probably be putting in a Saturday. Why do I do that? Y'all, give me some advice about I got to fill something in besides I'm not supposed to be saying I get so tickled at myself. Okay, Bobby, move forward. Anyway, so, gosh, lots of distractions today. There I go again. Filler words that aren't really words. Okay, move forward, Bobby. Let's get going, y'all. All right, so I've been listening to this dude on this podcast, new guy. Like him lots. He seems to be really super down to earth. And I think it's because, and he's been doing these podcasts for 10 years. I listened to one of them yesterday. He was talking about when he first got started, how he would do podcasts in his car because he didn't want anybody else to hear him. And I was like, I do these. I do little videos in my car as I drive to work. That's so cool. Yesterday morning, the podcast that he did, he was doing a favor for a friend. Excuse me. And he had a long drive. So, there we go. I caught myself. So, he was doing the podcast in his car. Now, to me, I didn't hear hardly any background noise at all. So, he must have a super good phone because I know when I go back and listen to some of these videos, I can hear all this background noise. So I'm going to try, probably in the next 2 years is my goal, which I'm sure it's going to be sooner, to find a place to sit and do podcasts. That would be really cool. I'm excited about that for myself. And like this weekend, I've got to call the city and find out what the rules are on it. But we have a park not far from where I live, and they have this huge stadium. There I go again, not stadium, stage. And it's concrete, and it's got this thing that goes over the top, like so it will echo. What are those called? Some kind of theaters. Amphitheaters. Anyway, it has one. I'd show it to you right now because I'm passing, but it's kind of hidden, and I got a lot of traffic around me. So, safety first. Remember, y'all, safety first. So, I was thinking about not even making an announcement, but just going and standing on that amphitheater and pretending I have a massive crowd of people. Excuse me. And just start doing a talk, kind of like, I guess I'm not doing a plug. The only way I can explain it is maybe a TED talk or a public speaking, and just practice my performances on stage. So when I get up there, even though there probably will not be a massive crowd because we have a lot of walkers, I'm going to tell my mind there is. Excuse me. And go ahead and move forward with that speaking. Now, these are one of the things that I talk to y'all about moving forward, preparing yourself for the life that you want to live. And this is one of the things I have dreamed about doing since I took speech in high school. I was bullied a lot through school, mostly through high school. I was bullied a lot through high school. Elementary school, I would jump on you in a split second because I didn't care, because my parents would spank me and it'd be over with. And then I got older and the spankings stopped and I started getting grounded and on restriction. And man, I did not like that at all. So, and plus kids got bigger in high school. Because when I was in elementary school, I was kind of one of the taller kids. And it was, anyway, let's move back. Let's quit worrying about the past. It's in the past. Let's move forward. So my mom practically made me take speech. I wanted to take drama, which, you know, we had a lot of favorites in our school, what people call the A crowd. And we just called them the popular kids, which there was like 70-something people in my class. There was less than 80. So in this group of kids, the teachers and the principals and everybody just loved them. They hung the moon and stars when they came down and practically got everything they want. So I knew when I got in drama class, it was a huge, huge shot that I would even get a part in any of the plays. But one of the things that came out of it is I was part of a team and I learned how to work well with people that were like the way they were. Excuse me. And I learned what, you know, because this was back when not everybody was the same. You know, we all had our different talents and our different ways of being who we were. And, you know, and it was just, that's just the way it was. Everybody didn't get a trophy, so to speak, or everybody didn't get a medal, so to speak. And it was just, I don't know, it's so different than what it is now. We learned how to deal with disappointment, where today, the children today do not even know, even the millennials, they do not know how to deal with disappointment because they're all treated the same, and we're not. We need to be able to be taught, our children need to be able to be taught what their strengths and talents are. Just because this guy can throw a football 100 yards and this other kid can't, we need to figure out what the talent this other kid has. You know, just because he wants to be a quarterback doesn't mean that he was designed to be a quarterback. He could be something so much more. Yeah, and probably be way better at it than anybody on his team. But instead, we're all trying to teach our kids, well, you can be that. Yeah, you can, but you're probably going to have to work harder, 3-4 times harder than this other kid. Let's find something that might be easier for you. I know that could also be a down thing, that will be able to make you better, and you could strive harder to be even better than what you already are. This is your talent. This is what you were designed for. Instead of finding that, we're trying to make everybody exactly the same. I'm not off of assembly line. At least I don't think I am. My mama was very different, so I know I wasn't an assembly line. I was pretty much created differently, way differently than most of the people. So by being able to find your talent, to find your strength, to find what you were designed to do and what you are good at is what we should be teaching our children, in my opinion. Now, if you teach your kid any way you want to. I raised my children like my family said I should raise them, and that's one of my biggest regrets, because I knew in my heart that's not how I wanted to raise them. Excuse me. And then in the end, I began to start raising my kids, the way that I wanted to. I didn't do it immediately. It took time. So, but being able to do the things that you know that you're good at, you just got to find that talent. Well, when I took speech, when my mama made me take speech in high school, it was probably one of the best things I got out of high school. And by doing that, I was able to overcome some fears. Now, as I grew and I let society and the world tear me down, it got worse and I wasn't able to stand in front of people and speak. Now I am giving a big shout out to Steve and Jana Wright, who were children's pastors at Providence Church, which is no longer Providence Church, it's something else now. But anyway, I was working in the children's department, and I'd never stood in front of a bunch of kids like this. I've taught children in small little groups around the table, but I had never stood in front of this many children or this many people and made a speech or declaration or did a lesson, and it was absolutely terrifying to me. And he told me, he brings me into the office, we were having our meeting. He says, "You're going to do tithes and offering today." And I looked at him, and I guess the look on my face said it all. And he says, "You're going to be fine." And I looked at his wife. She goes, "Don't look at me. He's the leader." And I was like, I can't do that. He said, "Yes, you can." I said, "I'm telling you, I will not be able to do that." He says, "For one thing, they're children." I said, "Exactly. Children will call you out. They are not afraid to be asking you questions and checking you to make sure that what they have learned or what they have read is what you're teaching them. And they will call you out in a split second." I said, I don't think I can do this. He goes, "Well, you're going to." He said, "Here's your lesson. Go pray, calm down, and do this lesson." I said, I can't memorize this lesson in 5 minutes. He said, "You don't have to. You can stand there and read it." I was like, oh my Lord Jesus. He said, "Yep, keep calling his name." Basically, I'm sure that wasn't the whole conversation. But I got up there, y'all. I was so terrified and so nervous that I started shaking. I mean, uncontrollably shaking. I was holding my paper and my little visuals, and I was shaking. And one kid goes, "Look how nervous she is. She's so nervous." And it made it worse. I thought, I'm going to throw up in this tithe and offering plate. And I just kept reading the lesson. And I think they started praying over me, because the other teachers were behind me, and I started to calm down. And I got through that lesson, and I don't even remember what the lesson was. I was so terrified. But I think because of me being so nervous and presenting the way I did, these kids' attention was locked on. And I don't even know if they heard the lesson, but I got through it. And then the next week, someone else, we all took turns doing stuff. But the next week, he gave me another thing to do. And I mean, every time he did it, it got easier and easier and easier. And because he had faith in me, and he lifted me up, and the other teachers lifted me up, and him being stern the way he was, and everyone going, "You can do this." And everybody was so supportive, and being able to move through here and do this and that. I now can do what I'm doing with ease. That's not to say that I don't still get a little nervous, especially around a new crowd. Excuse me, but I've learned how to control it. And I am better than what I used to be. And I'm still learning, and I still have a lot of things to do. Now, the point of me saying all of this is, whenever we go through life, and it's something that is troubling us, or it's something that is super hard, the more we go through it and learn from it and take the aspects of what we learn getting through it, makes life easier, makes that situation easier. I think I park in somebody's parking space every time, different every time. But as I went through this situation, and I learned how to get through these things and learn how to get past the hardship of it, life becomes easier and easier. And the more I learn from it, the more I learn. I don't know a better way to say that, but the easier things get for me in that aspect. And now this weekend, hopefully this weekend, I'm about to step out of my comfort zone and do something again that is going to just be practically terrifying. But I'm thinking, man, if I cannot get through something like this that is so simple, standing on a stage with no one else around, probably people going, what the heck is that lady doing? Is she insane? Because there's no announcement of something going on, and just getting out there. I'm curious. The curiosity of wondering what is going to happen is so overwhelming, but it's so thrilling and exciting at the same aspect of me doing something that is completely out of my comfort zone. Is, I don't know, exuberating and exciting, and it just makes me so bubbly inside and gives me chill bumps. So today, look at yourself and look at your surroundings and do something that helps you to step out of your comfort zone. And then after you've done that, it can be something small, like I have a daughter that couldn't order her own hamburger until she was almost 20. And now she can walk up and she's a bartender, and she can talk to just about anybody. She's still very introverted, and she does the bartending thing, but it gets her out of her comfort zone and puts her into that thing of, oh my gosh, but she does it, and she gets out there, and she gets out of that comfort zone, and she's able to do these things easier and easier and easier. And growing up, I would have never thought she'd ever be able to be in a public atmosphere like that, and she has done really great at it. So get out of your comfort zone today, and it can be something small. Say hello to someone that makes you terribly nervous, or, I don't know, there's all kinds of things you could do today. Some people, it's hard for them to walk down the sidewalk. Go walk a few steps down the sidewalk and look at how well you did. And then the next time you go to do it, you can go even further. So put some comments in here. Let me know what you did today to get out of your comfort zone. Let me know what the feeling was like and how good you felt afterwards of like, oh, I did it. Give yourself a pat on the back. All right, y'all. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I don't have my glasses on. Good morning to each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful day today. And leave a comment. Don't forget, y'all go be contagious and share that smile.